What's up, everybody? This is Coach Pirillo, and I got a tutorial video for you this week about how to make your lesson plans using Google Forms. Now, this is very similar to the National Lesson Plan Creator that I was a part of creating. So if you haven't seen that, go to nlpc.us, and that will be there for you. And that will have all the national standards when creating a lesson plan. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to log in your Google Drive. You go to New and create a Google Doc. This is where I would start. So I created a Google Doc. This is what my lesson plan would look like when I go to print it out. So how you set this up how you want to. Alright, this right down here, this is just for our standards here in Texas. This is where you would put your state standards, or you could put your national standards there, whatever you would like. It's a lot of upfront work, but in the end, it's awesome. It saves you a bunch of time using the Google form. So you'd have whatever it is you want in your lesson plan, you would put on this Google Doc. All this right here with these chevrons in the name, that is for later when we're going to merge the document using autocrat, and we'll talk about real briefly, but there are tutorial videos of how to set up autocrat that'll probably explain it better than me. Okay, but what you end up doing is the title here, I usually match it to what I'm going to use on my when I go to merge. Okay, alright, so that being said, once you've got this finished, you're going to then go to New and create a Google form. Okay, so go to Google Form, click, and now you can create a new one. Obviously, you're going to give it any title you want to. Now, in the Google Form, this is the older version because I haven't updated it, but this is the older version. The newer version looks just a little bit differently. So on mine, what I do is I have my questions set up based off of what's on the Google Doc here. So my questions are unit, activity, or whatever. So the type of question that I select on most of them is just a simple text, because they're not going to be very long answers. So these are all simple texts. Objective, I used a paragraph text because there's going to be a little bit more to that when I go to fill out the form. Paragraph, all that good stuff. Now down here for my objectives, or my, sorry, not objectives, but for my standards, what I do is I made a choose from list question. Okay, and based off this, here are all my grade levels, and each one of these grade level standards are on a new page. So you also have to highlight go to page based on answers, and that's what this is talking about here. So you're going to end up making, when you select K and then you hit submit on the form, it'll take you to that kindergarten page. And to make new pages, you have to go down here to where it says add item, click this arrow, down arrow, and you would add page break. And so then that would create a new page. So you're going to want as many page breaks as classes or grade levels that you're going to use for standards. So get all that set up. And then when you go to that page, the questions I have set up mine as a checkbox system. And the reason for that is because, you know, some lessons cover more than one standard. And what I did on my checkbox on the help text, I put in here, and let me pull this back up here, and you can see. So here's that help section. So this tells you what that A is. So A would be up here. See that? So that's what that one means. When I make my lessons, I don't like having a bunch of the long text on there. Save space on printing and pages. So I just use the abbreviation. You can easily have that down here as your checkbox. You can put all that text here if you want. That's a preference. That's up to you. So when you're done with all of your objectives or learning targets, no, I'm sorry. When you're done with all your standards, then you're ready to go. When you got the form the way you want it to look. When you're ready to fill it out, go to View Live Form, and it'll pull it up. Okay, so now you're going to fill out all this. You would put in your unit, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you need to fill out. But we're going to name it, because if we don't name it, it will pull up a weird name when it's merged. So we'll just give it the name of it, because I'll show you why I use that. All right. And so then you come down, and this is here, that checkbox. Now watch, if I click third grade and click continue, it's going to take me to that page in the form. And see here, I could read through here. Oh yeah, it covers this standard, and it covers this standard. Now if this is a lesson for only third, then I can go down here to submit, because that's one of the ones I can select. Or I can select another grade level if it's for another grade level. Okay, so we'll just go to submit, click continue, Click submit, and now form's made. I can either submit another response or I can exit out. So we're just going to go ahead and exit out. When you are done making your first one, you have to click on view responses, and this view responses will then create the Google Sheet for you. Okay, so it's going to create the Google Sheet. You got to give it a minute and make sure it runs the update or saves it. So now your sheet has been made. We're going to have to take this sheet and merge it to the Google Doc. And by doing that, you have to have autocrat. Okay, if you don't have that add-on, it's okay. You can go down here to get add-ons, search for autocrat, and be able to add it into your Google Drive. So select autocrat, and I know there are better tutorials than what I'm going to do because I'm going to fly through this just because of the link for the video. So I've already got it merged and ready to go, but I want to show you real quick on how to set it up. In case you want more info, you can always contact me, or like I said, you can do a search on YouTube to find out a better explanation of what I can pull up. Now obviously it's taking a long time to load. That's because it's either one, the file, or two, my internet. So here's the existing job. Normally if you don't have one, it would say create one, and you just go through the steps that we're going through. So we're going to click edit, and then it should pull up. And this is going to pop up because I have all those different pages in the form. Alright, so here you would name it. You're going to choose the template, which is the Google Doc up here. So you're going to go to your drive and find whatever lesson template you're going to use. You click next, and here this is from your Google Doc, you know, those chevrons we put on, and then this one is from your Google Sheet that you're trying to merge into. So they have basically, they're going to communicate to each other. So that's why I try to keep these titles similar to what's on the Google Doc. So then if any of these aren't lined up correctly, you can go through and click on this, and you can change. Oh no, that's supposed to be modifications. Okay, if it lined up perfectly, you're good to go. You don't have to change anything. You can click next, and now you're going to give, this is how we set up the file. I always like mine the name of the activity. You may want to put yours as the unit, but put a $sign and then whatever column that column's called. So mine is name of activity. So $sign name of activity. I can also then put space and then $sign unit, so it would give me the activity name, and then list the unit when it makes the title of the document. So you can make a Google Doc or as a PDF. I like Google Docs. You can go back and edit them and change them instead of a PDF. It'll still print. So go to next, and then you're going to choose the folder. So make sure you've created a folder, or you can just have it floating in your Google Drive. I like it to be in the folder, and I don't mess with that one, and I don't mess with conditions. And if you want to do emails and send an email saying you shared it, you know, you can do that. If it's just for yourself, don't worry about it. Here you want to make sure that you run on form trigger. So make sure you click yes. Okay, because that way when you fill out the form, it's going to automatically create that file for you. You don't have to come back in and run the merge. Okay, so it should automatically create it, and I'll show you that because we already filled one out. Alright, so when I'm done, I'm going to click cancel, but when you're done, you would obviously click save. Okay, and so now that that's all for, oh, you know what I should have showed you? Once you finish that, let me open that back up. You have to hit the little triangle play looking button. So once you've finished creating the autocrat, get it pulled back up again. Alright, so you see this guy right here. So after you create it for the first time, you're going to want to hit that play button, and then it's going to run. See, it says run job. So then it'll run it, and it'll merge your document that you created. Alright, so since mine's already run and it's all set up on automatic, we're going to go back to the Google Drive, and we're going to locate that folder, which is all the way to the top. Right there, here's that folder it's going to put them in. And see for you, see where it says for you? That's the one that I created during this tutorial. So if I click on that, it'll pull up that document. So see that? So if we added more to the title, if I put unit, it would say for you, and then it would have the unit after it, or however you lined it up. Okay, so see how it automatically fills in that, and then see there's your text. Now there's space in here that you can go back and delete, because these lines would be for second and first and kindergarten. So you'd have space for those other objectives. Alright, so nice and easy. That's how I have mine set up. You can set up however you want. If you do have questions, please let me know. I am going to continue this, showing you how in just a minute how to add the form to your screen on your phone. I have an iPhone, so that's all I can show you. I'm sure you can do the same thing with other phones, but hang with me and we'll switch over to my phone to show you how to get the live form onto that. Alright, so here's how you link it to your phone and what you do on your phone. Now you could do this whole same process using your tablet and all that stuff as well. So works pretty much the same way. So you're going to go into your device, you're going to go to your drive, and now you're going to find that form that you made, whatever you called it. So you're going to search around. Alright, mine's towards the bottom here. And right there, that purple one, Teach Phys Ed Lesson Plan. So I click on that, and that's actually going to take me to the live form. Okay, so it pulls it up. This is the actual live form. It pulled it up in my browser. So now I would fill out the form and then of course submit it. And because I had autocrat set up, it should automatically make my lesson. So let's go ahead and name this so you can see that it actually does work. Okay, so now we named it something. And of course that's just for fun. Let's go through and find a standard to put to us. Okay, let's go with one of these. Let's go with that guy. Alright, then once again we'll go down, click submit, hit continue, and then submit. And now it submitted a response. And just to be sure to show you proof, hey, it works. Let's go back to the Google Drive and then go to the folder that we created where it stores all the lessons in. Right there, Teach Phys Ed Lessons. I click on that, and in just a moment you will see it pop up here in just in a second, okay? It just takes a while because of Wi-Fi and all that good stuff, but it should pull up right there. See right at the top? Cool, modified on today. Ha! Alright, so then if I click on it, it would take me there, obviously, and then I can tinker around with it if I need to. I would not advise doing it from a phone because it's a little more. Now, if you want to take it and make it that much process even easier, let's go back to that file, the form, and open that back up, and I'll show you what you can do. You can add it to the home screen of your phone or your tablet or device. So if I click on that form again to open, you see that little square with the arrow on the bottom. You're going to tap that guy, and then it's going to pull up this screen. And if you scroll down this one, you'll see right here that square with the plus sign in it, add to home screen. You're going to tap on that, and then it's going to ask you if you want to give it a name. I'm just going to keep the name the same. I'm going to click add. And now it's going to add a direct link right there on my home screen, right here, okay? Let me wave it around here. This guy right here. The other one's my personal lesson plan. Alright, so if I tap on it, it's going to automatically open me up there in my web browser. And just like that, all ready to go. Like I said, you can do the same thing from your tablet. As always, thank you for subscribing, commenting, liking, and sharing the videos. I'm Coach Pirillo, reminding you to keep on moving.